So are vegan diets really the key to a healthier life? Or is there a lot of hype and maybe some hidden risks we should be talking about? It's a huge question, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise and get straight to what the science actually says.
And just to give you an idea of how massive this movement has become, look at this number. 15 times. That's how much the number of people in Germany calling themselves vegan shot up in just 10 years. This is not some fringe trend anymore. It's a full-blown dietary shift.
So what is driving this vegan boom? Well, it's really this powerful mix of concerns, People are thinking about the planet, about animal welfare, and of course, about their own health. And that combination has created some serious momentum, especially with the younger crowd, which is where this story gets really interesting.
Yeah, this isn't just an adult thing. A 2021 survey of kids in the UK found that over 20% already identify as either vegan or vegetarian. But here's the kicker. Look at that green slice. Another 21% want to go vegetarian. I mean, do the math. We are looking at a future where almost half of all kids could be on a plant-based diet. That is a huge generational shift.
Okay, so let's put the ethics and the environment to one side for a second and just talk about health. What does the science say? What are the actual documented benefits of going vegan, especially when you're young?
And the science here is actually pretty compelling. A big study in 2021 found that kids on a vegan diet had signs of a healthier heart. So what does that really mean? Well, it means lower levels of that bad cholesterol and less inflammation in their bodies compared to kids who ate meat. And those are really powerful signs of better long-term health.
But it's not quite that simple. Anytime you cut out entire food groups, you have to be super deliberate about what you're putting back in. And that brings us to what we're calling the nutrient watch list. These are the vitamins and minerals that you absolutely have to plan for on a vegan diet.
Top of that list, and honestly, probably the most critical one, is vitamin B12. Our bodies need it for a healthy nervous system, for making red blood cells. It's crucial stuff. The big challenge? You just don't find it naturally in plant foods.
So how much are we talking about? Well, the recommended daily amount for an adult is just 2.4 micrograms. Now that sounds like a tiny, tiny amount, but trust me, missing that target can lead to some really serious problems. And here's the issue. A huge review of the data found that vegans who don't take supplements or use fortified foods get, on average, less than half a microgram a day. That huge gap between what's recommended and what people are actually getting, that's exactly why B12 is at the very top of the watch list.
And B12 is really just the tip of the iceberg. The full watch list includes major players for bone health, like calcium and vitamin D, plus essential minerals like iodine, selenium, and zinc. It really drives home the point that a healthy vegan diet isn't just about what you take out, it's about what you mindfully have to put back in.
Now, when we get to iron, things get a little weird. You'd probably assume that vegans would be at a higher risk for iron deficiency, right? But what's surprising is that major studies have found that's not necessarily the case. Veganism isn't automatically linked to higher rates of anemia.
But of course, there's a catch. The kind of iron you find in plants is different from the iron in meat, and our bodies just have a much tougher time absorbing the plant-based kind. So even if a vegan diet looks like it has plenty of iron on paper, your body might not actually be getting all of it. It's not just about how much you eat, it's about how much your body can use.
And all of this brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation, because when you apply this diet to growing kids, well, the stakes get much, much higher. And this isn't just some casual worry. One of the world's leading expert groups on pediatric health puts it very bluntly. For children on a vegan diet, the risks of failing to follow advice are severe. That's a pretty heavy warning. This table really sums up the trade-offs that researchers have found. On the one hand, you see the good stuff, right? That better cholesterol profile we talked about. But on the flip side, you see these potential risks, lower bone density, lower iron stores, and even potential impacts on growth. It's a really delicate balance that parents and doctors have to navigate.
So why is this so confusing for parents? Well, it's because the experts themselves don't fully agree. You've got major nutrition groups in the US and the UK saying, yep, a well-planned vegan diet is safe for everyone, including kids. But then you've got many of their counterparts in Europe saying, whoa, slow down, and they express strong caution, sometimes not recommending it for young children at all.
Okay, so with all these challenges and all these conflicting opinions, how do you actually make a vegan diet work, and work well? Let's break down what it takes to really plan for success.
Health organizations like the NHS lay out a pretty clear four-step game plan. Step 1.
variety. You gotta eat a huge range of different plant foods. Step 2, make fortified foods your friend. Things like plant milks and cereals. Step 3, you have to actively plan your meals around getting those key nutrients we've been talking about. And finally, step 4 is non-negotiable. You have to supplement with vitamin B12 and vitamin D. That's absolutely essential.
So what does that actually look like on your plate? Well, for calcium, you're thinking fortified plant milks, tofu, broccoli. For iron, you want to load up on things like lentils, beans, and dark leafy greens. And for B12, sure, you can get some from fortified foods, but you have to remember, the most reliable, surefire source is always going to be a supplement.
And that really leaves us with one last big question to think about. We're in this age now where grocery stores are flooded with ultra-processed vegan foods, burgers, cheeses, you name it. And it makes you wonder, is the future of healthy eating less about what we don't eat and more about the quality of the things we do?